Discover the top 12 most valuable 1971, 1972, D, 1973, 1974, 1977, 1979, 1980, D, 1983, D, 1984, D, 1985, D, 1988, P, 1989, P. Kennedy half dollars. In this exciting video, we'll dive into the history, key dates, mint marks, and rare errors that make these coins highly collectible. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or new to coin collecting, this guide will help you understand what makes these Kennedy half dollars so special and valuable. Stay tuned to see if you have one of these hidden treasures in your collection. Piece of American coinage, the 1971 Kennedy half dollar. We'll be exploring the coin's rich history, its place in the United States Mint's production, and, most importantly, what it's worth today. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting, this is a must-watch. Let's get started. First, let's rewind a bit to understand why the Kennedy half dollar even exists. After President John F. Kennedy was tragically assassinated on November 22, 1963, the nation was in mourning. It didn't take long for calls to commemorate Kennedy on U.S. currency. In fact, less than a month after his death, Congress passed legislation to place his portrait on the half dollar. The design came together quickly. The obverse, or the front, of the coin features a portrait of Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts, the chief engraver of the United States Mint at the time. The reverse features the presidential seal, created by Frank Casparo. The Kennedy half dollar was first minted in 1964 and has continued production since, though with a few key changes over the years. The year 1971 is significant in the history of the Kennedy half dollar because it marked the end of silver in the coin's composition. Prior to 1971, the half dollars contained silver. From 1964 to 1970, the coins had a 90% or 40% silver composition, depending on the year. However, in 1971, the U.S. Mint made a major shift. They removed all silver from the half dollar and switched to a copper-nickel composition. This was part of a broader effort by the U.S. government to phase out silver from circulating coinage due to rising silver prices. So, the 1971 Kennedy half dollar is made from a blend of copper and nickel, also called clad coins. Let's now look at the specific details of the 1971 Kennedy half dollar. The coin is composed of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to an inner core of pure copper. It weighs 11.34 grams and has a diameter of 30.6 millimeters. The coin's edge is reeded, giving it a distinct look. The 1971 half dollar was minted at 3 locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D mint mark; and San Francisco, S mint mark for proof coins. Proof coins were struck for collectors, featuring a higher level of detail and a mirror-like finish. The 1971 Kennedy half dollar had a significant mintage. Here's a breakdown. 1971, Philadelphia, no mint mark. Approximately 155 million coins were struck. 1971, S, San Francisco, proof. Roughly 3.2 million proof coins were produced. As you can see, Denver produced the highest quantity of half dollars in 1971, followed by Philadelphia. The San Francisco Mint, on the other hand, primarily produced proof coins for collectors. Now to the part that everyone is interested in, the value. Since the 1971 Kennedy half dollar is composed of copper and nickel, rather than silver, it doesn't have the intrinsic metal value that earlier silver versions had. However, that doesn't mean they aren't collectible. Here's how they are valued. In general, if your 1971 Kennedy half dollar has been in circulation and shows signs of wear, its value is usually around face value, 50 cents. Coins that have never been in circulation, showing no wear, could be worth around $1 to $2. Higher grade, uncirculated examples can sell for between $15 and $100, depending on their condition. Proof 1971 S half dollars are usually valued between $5 and $10, depending on condition. Even though the 1971 Kennedy half dollar isn't rare in terms of mintage, certain factors can make specific coins more collectible. Coins that have retained their original mint luster, lack wear or blemishes, or have been stored in protective conditions are always more desirable. Coins with errors, such as double die varieties or off-center strikes, can also fetch higher prices among collectors. Although the Kennedy half-dollar is no longer widely circulated, it holds a special place in the hearts of collectors. The coin symbolizes an important moment in U.S. history, the commemoration of a beloved president. Collectors are particularly drawn to Kennedy half-dollars because of the variety of mint marks, proof versions, and potential for error coins, offering a wide range of collectible possibilities. Kennedy half-dollars from the 1970s, including the 1971 version, are often part of larger collections of 20th-century U.S. coins. They are also popular in typesets, where collectors attempt to obtain one example of each coin type or design. There are a few misconceptions about the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar. One is that it contains silver, but, as we discussed earlier, by 1971, the silver content had been completely removed. Some people believe all old coins are worth a fortune, but the truth is that the 1971 half-dollar's value is largely determined by its condition and rarity of any errors, not simply its age. If you're lucky enough to have a high-quality 1971 Kennedy half-dollar, or any other valuable coin, preserving it properly is essential. Always handle your coins by the edges to avoid transferring oils from your skin. Store them in a cool, dry place in protective holders, such as coin flips or albums, to prevent tarnishing and damage. Whether you're looking to buy or sell a 1971 Kennedy half-dollar, there are several options available. You can visit local coin shops, attend coin shows, or browse online marketplaces like eBay or specialized coin auction sites. If you're selling, it's important to get your coin graded by a professional service, such as PCGS or NGC, to ensure you get the best price. To wrap up, the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar may not contain silver, but it's a piece of American history that represents a significant change in U.S. coinage. While it's generally a common coin, higher grade or error versions can command solid prices in the collector's market. So, whether you're adding to your collection or just curious about the coin, the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar. Whether you're a coin collector, enthusiast, or someone curious about your pocket change, this video will give you a complete guide on the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar. The Kennedy half-dollar series started in 1964, just a few months after the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. In fact, the public sentiment around Kennedy's tragic death played a significant role in fast-tracking the creation of this coin. The 1972 half-dollar is part of this historic series and represents the era when the coin was transitioning in both metal content and public use. The first Kennedy half-dollar contained 90% silver, but by 1971, the U.S. Mint switched to a copper-nickel composition. The Kennedy half-dollar remains one of the most recognizable and collected coins due to its historical significance and bold design. The obverse of the 1972 half-dollar features the portrait of President John F. Kennedy. This design has remained mostly unchanged since its introduction in 1964. The date 1972 appears below Kennedy's profile, with the word "Liberty" surrounding the upper portion and the motto, "In God We Trust," below the neck. The reverse design showcases the presidential seal, an eagle with a shield on its chest, holding an olive branch in one talon and arrows in the other. This represents peace and strength, respectively. The inscription United States of America curves around the top edge, while half-dollar is seen at the bottom. The 1972 Kennedy half-dollar has a reeded edge, typical for most U.S. coinage to help prevent counterfeiting. The D mint mark on the 1972 half-dollar signifies that it was produced at the Denver Mint. The Denver Mint was a key facility in producing many U.S. coins during the 20th century. In 1972, the Denver Mint produced a large number of these half-dollars, making them more common than coins from other mints during certain years. Approximately 141 million 1972 Kennedy half-dollars were struck at the Denver Mint. The first Kennedy half-dollars minted in 1964 contained 90% silver. The 1972 Kennedy half-dollar contains 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel, cupronickel. This composition was standard for half-dollars minted after 1971. The removal of silver from the coin's composition was due to rising silver prices in the late 1960s. Starting in 1971, half dollars were made with a copper-nickel clad composition, making the coin primarily for circulation, and drastically reducing its intrinsic metal value. By the early 1970s, the half dollar had already started to fall out of favor with the general public. Most people preferred smaller denominations like quarters and dimes for everyday transactions. The 1972 D half dollar was no exception. Many 1972 D Kennedy half dollars were released into circulation, but they were less commonly used by the public. Many of these coins ended up in collectors' hands, or simply in bank vaults, and used for day-to-day purchases. Today, the 1972 D Kennedy half dollar is often collected due to its historical relevance rather than used for transactions. Many collectors look for uncirculated examples to add to their collections. Like many coins, the 1972 D half dollar has its share of notable errors and variations that can significantly affect its value. Some 1972 D half dollars exhibit a doubling effect on the obverse, particularly noticeable on Kennedy's profile, the date, and inscriptions. Coins with this error can be worth significantly more. As with many coins from the 1970s, some 1972 D half dollars show signs of weak strikes, where the design wasn't fully imprinted on the coin, or off-center strikes, making them more valuable to collectors. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to inspect your 1972 D half dollar for any signs of doubling or striking issues. Pay close attention to the lettering, especially around the date and liberty. The value of a 1972 D Kennedy half dollar depends on several factors, including condition, rarity, and demand. Let's break this down. The face value of the 1972 D half dollar is, of course, 50 cents. However, for collectors, the value can go higher depending on the condition and whether any errors are present. In circulated condition, the 1972 D half dollar is typically worth around its face value, 50 cents to $1. Coins in better condition may be valued at $2 or more. In uncirculated, MS, condition, the value can increase significantly, with MS 65 coins valued between $10 and $15. Proof coins are specially made for collectors with a high-quality mirror finish. While there are no proof coins from the Denver Mint, Philadelphia did produce proof versions of Kennedy half dollars, coins with rare errors, such as the double die obverse, can fetch much higher prices. Some error coins from 1972 D have been known to sell for over $100. Whether you're looking to buy or sell a 1972 D half dollar, there are a few things to keep in mind. Online marketplaces such as eBay or dedicated coin auction sites like Heritage Auctions are good places to find 1972 D Kennedy half dollar stock. If you're looking to sell your 1972 D half dollar, you can list it on online marketplaces or take it to a local coin dealer for an appraisal. Keep in mind that coin dealers often buy coins at wholesale prices, so you might get a lower offer than if you sold directly to another collector. To ensure the best price for your 1972 D half dollar, especially if you believe you have an error coin or a mint state example, consider having it graded by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. The 1972 D Kennedy half dollar is a fascinating coin that holds both historical and collectible value. While it might not contain silver like earlier versions, its connection to President Kennedy's legacy and its place in American coinage history make it a worthy addition to any collection. Whether you're looking for a circulated coin or a high-grade error variety, the 1972 D Kennedy half dollar has something to offer for collectors of all levels. Be sure to inspect your coins for any rare errors or signs of uncirculated. Is more than just a piece of currency. It's a symbol of history, an artifact that continues to captivate coin collectors and enthusiasts alike. Today, we're diving deep into the 1973 Kennedy half dollar, its value, rich history, and hidden secrets. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, this video will provide everything you need to know. Stock footage of President John F. Kennedy, followed by an image of the first Kennedy half dollar minted in 1964. The Kennedy half dollar was first minted in 1964, just months after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. It was introduced to honor the legacy of the 35th President of the United States. This coin quickly became a sentimental favorite for millions of Americans. The original 1964 Kennedy half dollar was struck in 90% silver, making it valuable not only for its historical significance but also for its silver content. But by the time we get to the 1973 Kennedy half dollar, the coin had changed significantly. In 1971, the U.S. Mint made significant changes to the composition of the Kennedy half-dollar. The 1973 Kennedy half-dollar is a copper-nickel-clad coin, with an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to an inner core of pure copper. A graphic showing the composition breakdown of the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar. This shift to a copper-nickel-clad composition was part of the government's effort to reduce the cost of producing coins. As silver became more expensive, side-by-side comparison of a 1964 silver half-dollar and a 1973 copper-nickel half-dollar. Images of the various mint marks found on Kennedy half-dollars, including P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. In 1973, the Kennedy half-dollar was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia and Denver mints produced coins for general circulation, while the San Francisco mint primarily struck proof coins. The coins minted in Philadelphia bear no mint mark, while those from Denver have a D mint mark. San Francisco produced proof coins bear the S world of U.S. coins with a special focus on the 1974 half-dollar. We'll explore its history, key design features, errors to watch out for, and how much these coins might be worth today. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, you won't want to miss this in-depth look at the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar. So, let's get started. The story of the 1974 half-dollar starts with a much larger historical moment, the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy in 1963. Shortly after his death, Congress moved quickly to commemorate his legacy on the U.S. half-dollar coin, replacing the Benjamin Franklin design that had been in circulation since 1948. The first Kennedy half-dollar was minted in 1964, and it instantly became a symbol of national mourning and remembrance. Initially, the 1964 Kennedy half-dollars were minted in 90% silver, but as the value of silver surged in the mid-1960s, the U.S. Mint shifted to a clad composition starting in 1965. This new alloy consisted of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. By 1971, the silver content was completely eliminated, and the Kennedy half-dollar became a fully clad coin. The 1974 Kennedy half-dollar was part of this post-silver era, but it holds a unique place in numismatic history. Even though it's often overlooked, there are some interesting variations and features you'll want to know about. Let's take a closer look at the design elements of the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar. The coin features the same iconic design introduced in 1964, with a portrait of President John F. Kennedy on the obverse side, designed by Gilroy Roberts. Kennedy's bust faces left, with his hair detailed in soft yet pronounced lines. Above his head is the inscription, Liberty, and below his chin is the minting year, 1974. The phrase, "In God We Trust," is placed across the lower half of the coin. On the reverse side, designed by Frank Gasparo, you'll find the presidential seal, a symbol rich in meaning. It depicts a bald eagle holding an olive branch in one talon, representing peace, and a bundle of arrows in the other, symbolizing the nation's readiness for war. The eagle is centered against a backdrop of rays emanating from a circle of stars. Above the eagle, the phrase, United States of America, is inscribed, and below it, the denomination, half-dollar. The 1974 half-dollar was struck in clad composition, consisting of a copper-nickel outer layer bonded to a pure copper core, weighing 11.34 grams with a diameter of 30.6 mm. The coins minted in Philadelphia do not have a mint mark. These coins are generally less scarce than their counterparts from other mints, but they still hold value depending on their condition. The Denver Mint produced a significant number of these half-dollars, identifiable by a small, D mint mark located just below Kennedy's neck on the obverse side. As with most coins, Denver minted halves can be worth more in higher grades. The San Francisco Mint was known primarily for producing proof coins, and the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar is no exception. Proof coins are highly polished and struck multiple times to ensure sharp details, which makes them particularly attractive to collectors. The S mint mark distinguishes these proof coins, and they often fetch higher prices due to their quality in lower mintages. The mintage numbers for 1974 were significant, with over 200 million coins struck between the 3 mints, Philadelphia, 201,596,000 coins, Denver, 79,066,000 coins. San Francisco, proof 2,612,568 proof coins. Proof coins are specially made for collectors, often housed in protective cases. They are struck with extra care, which gives them a mirror-like finish. When it comes to the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar, collectors often look for specific varieties and errors that can increase the coin's value. One of the most well-known and sought-after varieties is the 1974 D double die obverse. This variety occurs when the coin's design is doubled due to a misalignment in the die-making process. The doubling is most visible in the inscription, "In God We Trust," and the word "Liberty." While not as dramatic as other double dies like the 1955 Lincoln Cent, the 1974 D double die obverse still commands attention from collectors. In high-grade, uncirculated condition, this variety can be worth hundreds of dollars. A small piece of the coin may appear to be missing, which happens during the minting process when a blank planchet is misfed into the cutting machine. This error is rare but sought after. This occurs when the coin is not properly aligned during the striking process, resulting in an off-center design. The degree of misalignment can vary, with more extreme examples being more valuable. Always inspect your 1974 half-dollars closely. Errors can be hard to spot without magnification, but they can make a big difference in a coin's value. Now, let's talk about the value of the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar. As with most coins, the value can vary significantly based on condition, mint mark, and whether or not the coin has any errors. In general, circulated 1974 half-dollars without errors or special varieties are common and have a value of around face value, or 50 cents. However, uncirculated coins or coins with special varieties can fetch much higher prices. In heavily circulated condition, grades G4 to VF20, the value usually remains at 50 cents. In higher circulated grades, grades XF40 to -58 Australian dollars, these coins may be worth around $1 to $2. Uncirculated coins, MS60 to MS63, are valued between $2 and $5, with higher mint state examples, MS64 to MS67, commanding prices as high as $20 to $50. The 1974 S-proof coins are usually worth around $3 to $10, depending on their condition and the quality of the strike. The 1974 D double die obverse variety is where the real value lies. In lower uncirculated grades, MS60, these can be worth $50 to $100. In higher grades, MS65 or higher, they can fetch up to $300 or more. It's essential to note that coin grading plays a significant role in determining value. Even small differences in grade can lead to substantial variations in price. For example, a coin graded MS65 is worth much more than one graded MS60, even if they appear similar to the untrained eye. Grading is crucial when determining a coin's value. To help you better understand how your 1974 half-dollar might be graded, let's go over the grading scale and what to look for at each level. This grade and unique features of the 1977 Kennedy half-dollar. We'll also cover some interesting facts about this coin that might surprise you. So, stick around, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why the 1977 half-dollar holds a special place in American numismatics. To understand the 1977 Kennedy half-dollar, we first need to dive into the backstory of the coin's design and its significance in U.S. history. The Kennedy half-dollar was first minted in 1964, just months after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy in November 1963. The country was in mourning, and a decision was made to honor the late president by featuring him on the half-dollar coin. The design was quickly approved by Congress and put into production the following year. The design of the coin, created by chief engraver Gilroy Roberts, for the obverse side, and Frank Gasparo, for the reverse, became a lasting tribute to Kennedy. The obverse side features a profile of Kennedy, while the reverse side features the presidential coat of arms, including a heraldic eagle holding an olive branch and arrows, symbolizing peace and strength. So, how did we get to the 1977 half-dollar? By 1971, the U.S. Mint stopped producing silver half-dollars for circulation. From that year onward, half-dollars were made from a copper-nickel-clad composition, and 1977 followed this pattern. The 1977 Kennedy half-dollar is part of the standard issue of this design but with a unique position in the history of U.S. coinage. The 1977 Kennedy half-dollar was minted at two different locations, Denver and Philadelphia, with both mints producing millions of coins to meet circulation demand. Now, let's talk about the technical specifications of the 1977 Kennedy half-dollar. The coin's design and composition play a significant role in determining its value, and knowing these details can help you identify rare or high-quality versions. 75% copper and 25% nickel, copper-nickel clad. 100% copper. The coin weighs 11.34 grams, and its diameter is 30.6 millimeters. Its edge is reeded, a feature commonly found on many U.S. coins to prevent counterfeiting and clipping. The obverse design features the bust of President John F. Kennedy, while the reverse shows the heraldic eagle design, a traditional symbol of American strength and power. On the obverse, you'll see the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," with the year 1977 at the bottom. On the reverse, the legend "United States of America" and the denomination half-dollar appear, surrounding the powerful eagle design. There are no silver versions of the 1977 Kennedy half-dollar meant for circulation, but collectors can still find proof struck in special editions. The 1977 Kennedy half-dollar was minted at two different U.S. mint facilities. These mint marks are crucial for identifying where a coin was produced, and they also play a role in determining the coin's value. Typically, the mint mark is located on the obverse side, just below Kennedy's portrait and above the date. In 1977, the Denver Mint produced 31,449,106 half-dollars, while the Philadelphia Mint produced 43,598,000 coins for circulation. As you can see, the mintage numbers are relatively high, meaning these coins are fairly common, especially in circulated condition. So, what is the value of the 1977 half-dollar today? That depends on a variety of factors, including its condition, rarity, and whether it's a regular circulation coin or a proof. Most 1977 Kennedy half-dollars found in circulation today are worth face value, 50 cents. These coins are relatively common, and because they don't contain silver, their intrinsic metal value is low. However, higher-grade circulated coins can have some added value. For example, in about uncirculated, AU, condition, a 1977 half-dollar might sell for $1 to $2. If the coin is in mint state, MS, condition, it can be worth more. Coins graded MS-63 or higher by organizations like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, can fetch between $3 and $15, depending on the specific grade. Top-tier graded coins, such as MS-67 examples, can be worth significantly more, up to $100 or more, depending on the market. In addition to circulation coins, the U.S. Mint produced special proof sets in 1977, which included a proof version of the Kennedy half-dollar. These coins are struck with a highly polished finish and are typically only available in sets sold directly to collectors. A 1977 S-proof Kennedy half-dollar in its original packaging may be worth $5 to $10, with higher prices for coins in perfect proof 70 condition. One of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting is finding error coins. While the 1977 Kennedy half-dollar is not known for any specific widespread errors, mistakes do occur during the minting process. Errors like double dies, off-center strikes, or die cracks can significantly increase a coin's value. Depending on the type and severity of the error, such a coin could be worth anywhere from $50 to several $100s. Grading is essential in determining a coin's value, and the 1977 half-dollar is no exception. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a flawless, perfect coin. These grades indicate a coin with significant wear, where most details are worn away. These coins hold minimal value. These coins show less wear and still have some sharpness in the details. They are generally more collectible. Coins in AU condition have only slight wear and are highly desirable to collectors. Mint state coins have never been in circulation and retain all their original luster and details. As mentioned earlier, higher grade MS coins, MS-63 to MS-67, can be worth significantly more than circulated coins. Kennedy half-dollars, in general, have a special place in American culture and history. The coin commemorates a beloved president and serves as a symbol of hope and resilience during a challenging time in U.S. history. Though the half-dollar is no longer commonly used in everyday transactions, it remains popular with collectors. The Kennedy half-dollar series is especially interesting because of the different compositions and special editions issued over the years. For example, from 1964 to 1970, these coins contained silver, making earlier editions more valuable in terms of both numismatic and silver content. Starting in 1971, the U.S. Mint switched to the copper-nickel-clad composition for circulation coins, which included the 1977 version. The Kennedy half-dollar continues to be produced today, although primarily for collectors. So, should you invest in the 1977 Kennedy half-dollar? It depends on your collecting goals. If you're looking for a low-cost entry into the world of numismatics, the 1977 Kennedy half-dollar is a great place to start. It's an affordable coin with historical significance, and higher-grade examples can offer good returns if you find the right buyer. However, if you're primarily interested in investment-grade coins, you might want to focus on rarer dates, bearer coins, or high-grade specimens. The 1977 half-dollar is relatively common. We're diving deep into the 1979 United States half-dollar, an intriguing coin that's been part of American history for over 40 years. Whether you're a coin collector, a history buff, or someone just curious about its value today, this video will cover everything you need to know. From its rich historical background to the specifics of its design, production details, and current market value, we'll walk through the significance of the 1979 half-dollar coin in the United States currency system. The half-dollar, or 50-cent coin, has a long-standing place in the history of American currency. First minted in 1794, the half-dollar was initially made of 89.24% silver and became a staple for large transactions. For much of the 19th century, half-dollar coins were circulated more frequently than dollar coins. However, as time passed, changes in the economy, metal prices, and currency preferences led to a reduced need for the half-dollar. By the late 20th century, half-dollar coins were rarely used in everyday transactions, but their significance in American coinage remained intact. In 1971, the U.S. Mint made a significant change to the half-dollar coin. The coin's composition shifted from silver to a copper-nickel clad, a mixture of metals that made it more affordable to produce but with little precious metal content. This change also affected the 1979 half-dollar we're discussing today. But before we dive deeper into the 1979 coin, let's quickly talk about the coin design, the key features, and the man it honors. The 1979 half-dollar, like many of its predecessors, features the image of President John F. Kennedy on the obverse, or heads, side, of the coin. This design was first introduced in 1964, just months after Kennedy's assassination in November 1963, and it remains one of the most iconic images on U.S. coins. The Kennedy half-dollar was designed by U.S. Mint chief engraver Gilroy Roberts, who was also responsible for many other designs in U.S. currency history. The reverse side of the coin, or the tails side, depicts the presidential seal, featuring a heraldic eagle holding an olive branch and arrows, symbolizing peace and war, designed by Frank Gasparo. While earlier Kennedy half-dollars were made of silver, the 1979 half-dollar is made of a copper-nickel composition, consisting of a core of pure copper, sandwiched between layers of a copper-nickel alloy. So, why is the 1979 half-dollar significant? To understand its value, we must place it in historical context. In the late 1970s, the United States was dealing with the effects of inflation, economic uncertainty, and rising metal prices. The use of silver in coins had become unsustainable, leading to the transition to copper-nickel alloys, not just for half-dollars but for many U.S. coins. By 1979, the Kennedy half-dollar was already becoming less common in everyday use. Most people preferred paper money or smaller denominations for daily transactions. Despite this, the U.S. Mint continued producing the coin, though in smaller numbers compared to earlier decades. In fact, by 1979, production of the half-dollar was significantly reduced compared to its peak years in the 1960s. Coins from the Philadelphia and Denver mints, marked by P and D mint marks respectively, were made in limited numbers, which would later affect the coin's value for collectors. The 1979 half-dollar was struck using modern coin minting techniques that involve high-pressure stamping and precision die casting. The U.S. Mint, responsible for producing coins, operated several facilities, with the two primary mints for half-dollar production being the Philadelphia and Denver locations. Each coin is inspected for defects, ensuring that only the highest quality pieces make it into circulation or collector sets. However, small variations and errors do sometimes occur, and these can increase the value of certain 1979 half-dollar coins. You can identify where your 1979 half-dollar was minted by checking the mint mark on the obverse side of the coin, just to the right of Kennedy's bust. If you see a D, it means the coin was minted in Denver. If there is no mint mark, the coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. For collectors, error coins or coins with distinct varieties are of particular interest. While the 1979 half-dollar doesn't have as many famous errors as earlier coins, there are still some interesting varieties to look out for. For example, coins with minor misstrikes or double dies can fetch a premium in the collector's market. Another thing to look for is high-quality examples with minimal wear, particularly from mint sets that were not intended for general circulation. Proof coins, which are struck with a higher level of detail and given a mirror-like finish, were also made in 1979. These are especially sought after by collectors and can command higher prices than their circulation counterparts. Now let's talk about the value of the 1979 half-dollar today. While the coin doesn't contain silver, its numismatic value, the value assigned by collectors, can vary depending on its condition, mint mark, and whether it's an error or proof coin. For a typical 1979 half-dollar in circulated condition, its value is often close to its face value 50 cents. However, uncirculated coins or those from mint sets can sell for anywhere between $1 and $5. A chart showing values for different grades of a 1979 half-dollar, ranging from good, G4, to mint state, MS65. If you happen to have a 1979 half-dollar in mint state, or one graded MS65 or higher, you could be looking at a value of $10 or more. Proof coins, especially those in pristine condition, can range from $5 to $20, depending on the market and the coin's certification. Errors, as we mentioned earlier, can dramatically increase the value. If you believe you have an error coin, it's a good idea to have it professionally graded or appraised. If you're interested in collecting 1979 half-dollars, here are a few tips. Look for mint sets and proof sets. These coins are generally in better condition and have higher collectible value. Misstrikes or doubling on the lettering can make your coin more valuable. Coins in mint condition or higher grades are always worth more, so keep your coins protected and avoid handling them without gloves. Keep an eye on coin auctions and marketplaces to understand the rich history and value of U.S. coins. Today, we're taking a closer look at the 1980 D. Kennedy half-dollar. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, this coin holds some fascinating details, both historically and financially. Let's jump right in. The Kennedy half-dollar series began in 1964, in honor of the 35th President of the United States, John F. Kennedy, who was tragically assassinated in 1963. This coin quickly became a symbol of national mourning and respect, with its initial release being highly anticipated by the American public. After its debut in 1964, the Kennedy half-dollar underwent a few changes. Originally, the coins were minted with 90% silver. However, in 1965, this was reduced to 40% silver due to rising costs. By 1971, silver was completely removed from the coin's composition, and the half-dollar transitioned to a copper-nickel clad design, which continues today. The Denver Mint, which produced the 1980 D half-dollar, was a key player in Kennedy half-dollar production. Coins from this mint are marked with a D mint mark and were distributed largely for circulation. The 1980 D half-dollar is composed of a copper-nickel clad, meaning it has an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a core of pure copper. This change was primarily made to cut down on production costs. On the obverse, front, side of the coin, we see the iconic portrait of John F. Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts. This design has remained largely unchanged since its introduction in 1964. The reverse side, designed by Frank Gasparo, features the presidential seal, with a bald eagle holding an olive branch and arrows, symbolizing peace and strength. The D mint mark, located just below Kennedy's bust on the obverse, signifies that the coin was minted at the Denver Mint. In 1980, the Denver Mint produced approximately 33.5 million half-dollars, which is a relatively large mintage. However, it's important to note that despite the high mintage, half dollars in general have not been used much in circulation since the 1970s. As a result, many 1980 D. Kennedy half dollars were saved in collections rather than being used as everyday currency. While the coin isn't considered rare due to its high mintage, finding one in pristine, uncirculated condition can be more challenging. Higher-grade coins, especially those certified by professional grading services, tend to hold more value. The value of the 1980 D. Kennedy half dollar depends heavily on its condition, or grade. Coins in circulated condition, those that show wear from handling and use, are typically worth face value, around 50 cents, since they contain no silver and are made from common materials. However, if you have an uncirculated or mint state (MS) coin, its value increases significantly. In lower mint state grades like MS-60 to MS-63, the coin may be worth anywhere from $1 to $5. Higher grade examples, such as MS-65 or MS-66, can fetch upwards of $10 to $30. Pristine examples graded MS-67 or higher can command even higher premiums, but these are rare. Additionally, if you come across a 1980 D half dollar with any striking errors, such as off-center strikes or double dies, the value could increase dramatically. Error coins are highly sought after by collectors. To determine the value of your 1980 D half dollar, you'll need to understand the coin's grade. Grading is the process of assessing the coin's condition, with higher grades representing coins with less wear or damage. Coin grading is typically done on a scale from 1 to 70, known as the Sheldon scale. Here's a quick breakdown of key grades. No signs of wear, with varying degrees of luster and strike quality. For valuable coins, it's worth having them professionally graded by services like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC. While the 1980 D half dollar may not be rare, it still holds appeal for collectors, particularly those interested in completing a full Kennedy half dollar collection. The relatively high mintage means that it's not hard to find a 1980 D half dollar, making it a great entry point for new collectors. As far as investment potential goes, coins like the 1980 D half dollar are not known for dramatic increases in value over time unless they are in exceptionally high grades. However, they can still be a fun and affordable way to diversify a collection. If you're interested in building a collection of Kennedy half dollars, look for well-preserved, higher-grade coins, and keep an eye out for any errors or anomalies. Did you know? The Kennedy half dollar is one of the few U.S. coins that was approved for production just a few months after the death of the person it honors. The design was rushed through to meet public demand. Although Kennedy half dollars are still minted today, they are rarely seen in circulation. Instead, they are produced primarily for collectors. The Denver Mint, where the 1980 D was produced, is one of the largest coin producers in the world, capable of minting over 50 million coins a day. To maintain the value of your 1980 D half dollar, proper storage is essential. Coins should be stored in a cool, dry place, away from direct sunlight and humidity. Using protective holders or coin albums can help prevent wear, tarnish, and scratches. For higher value coins, consider using a hard plastic case or getting the coin certified by a grading service. In summary, the 1980 D Kennedy half dollar might not be a rare find, but it's still a piece of American history that can hold value, especially in higher grades. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, it's always exciting to uncover. We're diving into the fascinating world of the 1983 D Kennedy half dollar. We'll be looking at its value, history, and interesting facts, so if you're a coin enthusiast or just getting started in the hobby, this is the video for you. Before we focus on the 1983 D Kennedy half dollar, let's take a quick look at the Kennedy half dollar series itself. This series was introduced in 1964, just months after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. The coin was designed by Gilroy Roberts and Frank Gasparo and became an iconic part of American currency. The obverse features a left-facing bust of Kennedy, designed by Roberts, while the reverse displays the presidential seal, designed by Gasparo. What's interesting is that the 1964 Kennedy half dollar was minted in 90% silver. However, by 1971, the U.S. Mint discontinued the use of silver in these coins, switching to a copper-nickel-clad composition. This coin was minted at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the D mint mark on the reverse side, right beneath Kennedy's bust. The The 1983 D half dollar is composed of a copper-nickel clad, meaning its outer layer consists of 75% copper and 25% nickel, while its core is made of pure copper. Like most post-1970 Kennedy half dollars, this coin was intended primarily for collectors rather than for circulation. Since the demand for half dollars in everyday transactions had decreased significantly by this time in 1983, the Denver Mint produced a total of 32,472,244 Kennedy half dollars. While this mintage number isn't extremely low, it isn't among the highest in the series either. The coins minted during this period were generally stored by collectors, as they were not frequently used in commerce. Many people would have collected these coins in mint sets or simply stored them as part of their Kennedy half-dollar collections. Now for the big question, what's the value of a 1983 D Kennedy half-dollar today? Like any collectible, the value depends largely on the condition of the coin. Let's break it down. In circulated condition, the 1983 D half-dollar is generally worth around its face value, 50 cents. Coins that show significant wear from being used in transactions aren't particularly valuable. Uncirculated condition, MS-60 to MS-63. Uncirculated examples, which have never been used, can be worth anywhere between $2 to $5, depending on the grade. Higher grades, MS-64 and above coins in higher grades, such as MS-64 and above, can fetch anywhere from $8 to $15. If you're lucky enough to find an MS-66 or higher, the value could even exceed $50. The grading of a coin is extremely important in determining its value. Uncirculated coins with strong luster and few imperfections can be worth significantly more than their circulated counterparts. If you're interested in grading your coin, you may want to consult a professional or submit it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. While the 1983 D half dollar doesn't have any major known varieties or errors that dramatically increase its value, it's always worth keeping an eye out for potential mint errors. Off-center strikes, double dies, or coins with planchet issues can sometimes be found, and these errors can make a coin significantly more valuable. In fact, errors in the Kennedy half-dollar series have been known to sell for hundreds, even thousands of dollars depending on rarity and severity. So, if you think you found an error, it could be worth getting it authenticated. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or someone who's just starting, the 1983 D half-dollar is an excellent coin to add to your collection. Because of its mintage numbers and its position in the later years of the Kennedy half-dollar series, it's not too difficult to find in uncirculated condition. Plus, its affordability makes it accessible to both novice and advanced collectors alike. Many collectors aim to complete an entire set of Kennedy half-dollars, spanning from 1964 to the present day. The 1983 D makes for an important part of any complete Kennedy half-dollar collection. Now, let's wrap things up with some fun facts about the 1983 D Kennedy half-dollar. Did you know? The Kennedy half-dollar has never featured any other president or figure, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in modern U.S. history. Despite its limited circulation in everyday commerce, millions of Kennedy half-dollars, including the 1983 D, are stored in vaults or collections across the U.S. Coin collectors often seek out the 1983 D because 1983 was one of the few years where no U.S. mint sets were issued, making high-quality examples somewhat harder to find. Thanks for joining me on this exploration of the 1983 D Kennedy half-dollar. Whether you're collecting for fun or hoping to discover a hidden gem in your collection, the Kennedy half-dollar remains a fascinating piece of U.S. numismatic history. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more coin-related content. Let me know in the comments below, do you have a 1983 D Kennedy half-dollar in your collection? The history of the Kennedy half-dollar series, the 1983 DS key details, mintage numbers, value in different conditions, potential errors, and the coin's collectability. You can expand the video with more visuals, interviews with experts, or even a segment on grading techniques to extend the content. We're diving into the fascinating history, key details, and potential value of the 1984 D half-dollar. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, there's always something exciting about understanding the story behind a coin, so stick around until the end to get the full breakdown. Let's get started. The 1984 D Kennedy half-dollar is part of the series that began in 1964, commemorating the life and legacy of President John F. Kennedy. The D mint mark represents the Denver Mint, which was responsible for producing this specific coin. Kennedy half dollars have been in circulation for decades, but the 1984 D issue holds its own significance due to its period in American history and its growing interest among collectors. Before we get into the specifics of the 1984 D coin, it's important to understand the origins of the Kennedy half dollar itself. The coin was introduced just months after President Kennedy's assassination in November 1963. The U.S. Mint rushed the design into production as a tribute to the fallen president, replacing the Benjamin Franklin half dollar series. When it was released in 1964, Americans were eager to get their hands on the new half dollar, both as a piece of history and as a memorial to the beloved president. Over the years, the Kennedy half dollar has remained popular, although its usage in everyday transactions has diminished. Today, the coin is mostly produced for collectors and special mint sets. By the 1980s, the half dollar was no longer commonly found in circulation, making coins like the 1984 D a bit rarer to come across casually. Yet, they are highly accessible for collectors. The design is a striking and respectful depiction of Kennedy, with his hair and facial features carefully detailed. Above Kennedy's head, you'll find the word Liberty boldly written, while the phrase "In God We Trust" sits below his chin. The date 1984 is placed at the bottom. This includes a heraldic eagle with its wings spread, holding an olive branch and a bundle of arrows. Above the eagle's head are 13 stars, symbolizing the original American colonies, and a banner with the motto E Pluribus Unum. Surrounding this majestic symbol are the words United States of America and half dollar. The reverse side truly showcases the pride and power of the American symbol, embodying Kennedy's legacy as well. The D mint mark is found on the obverse of the coin, just below Kennedy's neck, indicating the coin was minted at the Denver Mint. Coins without a mint mark were struck at the Philadelphia Mint. In 1984, the Denver Mint produced around 26,831,400 Kennedy half dollars. While this may seem like a large number, it's important to remember that many of these coins were either hoarded by collectors or never entered circulation. By this time, half dollars were less frequently used in day-to-day transactions because of their relatively low circulation and the general decline. In the production of half dollars intended for everyday use, many 1984 D half dollars found today remain in excellent condition, especially if they were preserved in mint sets. When it comes to collecting coins like the 1984 D half dollar, condition is everything. Collectors are always on the lookout for coins that are in near perfect shape, which brings us to the concept of grading. Coins are typically graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a flawless, mint condition coin. Some common grades you'll encounter include: these coins are in brilliant, uncirculated condition with very few imperfections. If you have a 1984 D half dollar in this condition, you could have something quite valuable on your hands. This grade represents a coin with minor imperfections but is still uncirculated and in relatively good shape. These coins will have some noticeable wear but will still be very well detailed and appealing. Most 1984 D half dollars found in circulation will likely be in the lower grades like EF or VF, very fine. However, if you're lucky enough to find one that has been well preserved, you could have a much more valuable coin. For circulated coins in average condition, the value will generally hover around the coin's face value of 50 cents. However, coins that are in better condition, such as those that are uncirculated or part of a mint set, can be worth significantly more. These are typically worth between 50 cents and $1, depending on the level of wear and tear. These can range from $5 to $10. High-grade uncirculated coins, MS-65 and above coins in this condition can fetch $20 or more, with some higher-end examples even exceeding $50. It's important to note that the value of a coin can fluctuate based on demand, rarity, and market conditions. If you're considering selling or buying a 1984 D half dollar, make sure to check current market trends and get your coin professionally graded if you believe it is in exceptional condition. As mentioned earlier, coins in mint or near mint condition will always fetch higher prices than those that are worn or damaged. While the 1984 D half dollar isn't considered rare, finding one in pristine condition can be challenging, which boosts its collectability. Occasionally, coins are struck with minting errors, such as double die errors or off-center strikes. These error coins can be worth significantly more than standard examples. It's always worth examining your coins carefully to see if you've got an unusual varieties. Always aim to find coins in the best condition possible, and consider having your coin graded if you think it might be uncirculated. Minting errors can make your coin much more valuable, so inspect your coins closely for any abnormalities. Coin values can fluctuate, so it's important to stay informed about current prices if you're buying or selling. The 1984 D half dollar is a fascinating piece of American numismatic history that honors the legacy of President John F. Kennedy. While not a particularly rare coin, it holds sentimental value for collectors and can be quite valuable in high-grade conditions. Whether you're just starting your collection or looking to add another Kennedy half dollar to your set, the 1984 we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1985 D Kennedy half dollar. We'll explore its history, key design features, and, most importantly, its current value. If you've come across one of these coins in your collection or pocket change, stay tuned to find out if it's worth more than its face value. Let's get started. Before we zoom in on the 1985 D half dollar, let's take a quick look at the broader history of the Kennedy half dollar series. This coin was first minted in 1964, just months after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. It was designed as a tribute to the beloved 35th president, and its release saw an immediate public demand. The obverse of the coin features a profile of Kennedy, while the reverse displays the presidential seal, featuring an eagle clutching arrows and an olive branch. From 1964 to 1970, the coin contained 40% silver, making it highly valuable not just as a currency but also as an investment piece. However, starting in 1971, the Kennedy half dollar transitioned to a copper-nickel composition, which is what the 1985 D coin is made of. Look closely, and you'll find the letter D right beneath Kennedy's portrait on the obverse. This signifies that the coin was minted in Denver, one of two mints that produced half dollars in 1985. By 1985, the Kennedy half dollar was composed of 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel. This composition is also referred to as clad, meaning it's a sandwich of copper and nickel, making the coin more durable for circulation but removing any intrinsic silver value. Like other Kennedy half dollars, this coin weighs 11.34 grams, with a diameter of 30.6 millimeters. Its reeded edge is another iconic feature, consisting of 150 tiny ridges. The obverse was designed by Gilroy Roberts, whose initials GR can be seen on Kennedy's neckline. The reverse design was by Frank Casparo, featuring the stately presidential seal. So, how rare is the 1985 D half dollar? Well, not particularly rare. In 1985, the Denver Mint struck 18,706,000 half dollars. While this is a sizable number, the vast majority of these coins were heavily circulated. That means if you find one in pristine condition, it could be worth more than face value, but most will be worth around 50 cents if they've seen a lot of wear. In circulated condition, most 1985 D half dollars are still only worth their face value, 50 cents. These coins were produced in large numbers and circulated widely, so there's not much rarity here. In uncirculated, or mint state condition, MS, the value increases. For example, an MS 60 graded coin might sell for around $1 to $2. As the grade improves, so does the value. In MS 65 condition, which is a well-struck coin with no significant marks or blemishes, the value can be between $5 and $15. There were no proof 1985 D half dollars made in Denver, but the San Francisco Mint did strike proof versions. However, if you come across a 1985 D coin in pristine condition, it's likely a higher grade mint state coin, but not a proof. Coins that are professionally graded and certified by companies like PCGS or NGC tend to fetch higher prices. For instance, a coin graded MS 67 can reach values as high as $150 to $200, but these are quite rare. Collectors often seek out coins with minting errors, and while there are no widely known major errors on the 1985 D, it's always a good idea to keep an eye out. Some potential varieties could include a misaligned or off-center strike could raise the value significantly, sometimes fetching $50 or more, depending on the extent of the error. Some collectors seek out coins with die cracks or cuts, where parts of the die used to strike the coin have cracked or chipped. While not as valuable as major errors, these can still add a premium of a few dollars, though rare on this particular coin. A double die variety, where the design appears to be struck twice, could substantially increase value. The 1985 D half dollar is a fantastic addition to any Kennedy half dollar collection, even if it's not the most valuable coin out there. Here are a few reasons to consider adding it to your collection. While it may not contain silver, the Kennedy half-dollar series remains a key part of American numismatic history. It symbolizes the memory of a beloved president and the nation's grieving process in the years following his assassination. Unlike some older or silver-based coins, the 1985 D is an affordable way to get into coin collecting. You can likely find one in decent condition for a low price, making it accessible to new collectors. For those who grew up in the 1980s, the 1985 D half-dollar may hold sentimental value. Whether you received one as a gift or found one in your pocket change, it's a coin that carries memories. Try to find coins that are in uncirculated or close to uncirculated condition. These coins will hold their value better over time. Store your coins properly to preserve their condition. Use acid-free holders or coin albums to protect them from damage and tarnishing. If you believe you have a high-quality coin, consider sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. A good grade can significantly increase the coin's values. And there you have it. The 1985 D half-dollar may not be the most valuable coin, but it's a beautiful piece of history and a cornerstone of any Kennedy half-dollar collection. Whether you're in it for the nostalgia, the history, or the possibility of uncovering a hidden gem, the 1985 D deep into the history, design, and value of the 1988 P. Kennedy half-dollar. Whether you're a collector or just curious about the significance of this coin, we've got all the details for you. The Kennedy half-dollar was first minted in 1964, just months after the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. Designed to honor the fallen president, the coin became an iconic symbol of national remembrance. However, by 1988, the coin had gone through several changes. The original 90% silver composition was replaced by a copper-nickel clad in 1971, making the 1988 P half-dollar part of this updated series. Introduced in 1964 as a tribute to President Kennedy, original coins, 1964, were made of 90% silver, but starting from 1971, all half-dollars were made of copper-nickel clad. By the 1980s, half-dollars were primarily for collectors, as their use in everyday transactions had decreased significantly. Let's take a closer look at the design of the 1988 P half-dollar. The obverse features a portrait of President John F. Kennedy, created by Chief Engraver Gilroy Roberts. On the reverse, we see the presidential seal, designed by Frank Gasparo. Both designs have remained largely unchanged since the coin's inception. The word Liberty is inscribed along the top, with "In God We Trust," just below Kennedy's chin. The date 1988 sits at the bottom of the coin. The presidential seal, with an eagle holding an olive branch and arrows. The motto "E Pluribus Unum" is displayed above the eagle. Surrounding the seal are 50 stars representing the states, and the words "footage of coins being minted at the Philadelphia Mint," highlighting the P Mint mark. The P Mint mark on this coin tells us that it was minted at the Philadelphia Mint. The Philadelphia Mint is one of the most historic mints in the United States, responsible for producing billions of coins each year. In 1988, the Philadelphia Mint produced over 12 million Kennedy half-dollars. The P is located just below Kennedy's bust on the obverse side of the coin. Philadelphia coins have a reputation for being widely circulated, though by the late 1980s, many half-dollars were primarily distributed through collector's sets. In 1988, the Philadelphia Mint produced approximately 12,829,000 Kennedy half-dollars, a relatively modest number compared to earlier years. A collection of graded and ungraded 1988 P half-dollars, with prices flashing on the screen. Voiceover. Now, let's talk about what this coin might be worth today. The value of a 1988 P half-dollar depends on its condition and whether it has been professionally graded. Most 1988 P half-dollars found in circulation are only worth their face value of 50 cents. This is because the coin is composed of copper and nickel, which have little intrinsic value. In uncirculated condition, or mint state, the 1988 P half-dollar can be worth more. Coins graded MS-65 or higher can sell for anywhere between $5 to $20 depending on demand and the specific coin market. While there were no proof coins minted in Philadelphia, proof Kennedy half-dollars from other mints, particularly San Francisco, tend to fetch higher prices, often in the range of $10 to $30 or more. Occasionally, minting errors such as off-center strikes or double dies can be found, which can increase the value significantly. If you think you have an error coin, it's worth getting it checked by a professional. An animated chart showing the key factors that influence coin value. Several factors can affect the value of your 1988 P half-dollar, beyond just its condition and minting errors, coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with higher grades indicating better condition. Coins in higher grades, especially those that are uncirculated, are worth more to collectors. While the 1988 P is not particularly rare, its connection to the Kennedy half-dollar series adds value for collectors of presidential memorabilia. Demand for Kennedy half-dollars fluctuates, and while they are popular among collectors, their market value can vary. Some years or mint marks are more desirable, driving up prices. As mentioned earlier, any errors during the minting process can make a coin more valuable. A step-by-step demonstration of grading a Kennedy half-dollar using a magnifying glass and other tools. Voiceover. If you're curious about the value of your own 1988 P half-dollar, it's important to know how to grade it properly. Use a magnifying glass to look closely at the surface. Check for scratches, wear, and other signs of circulation. The less wear, the higher the grade. A shiny, original mint luster indicates that the coin hasn't been circulated, which adds to its value. If you believe your coin is in excellent condition or if it has a unique error, consider sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication and grading. A collection of various Kennedy half-dollars. From 1964 to the present, Kennedy half-dollars have been a staple of American coin collecting since 1964. Many collectors aim to complete sets of these coins, spanning different years and mint marks. As a tribute to one of the most beloved U.S. presidents, from silver to copper nickel, proof versions, and era coins, there's a wide range to collect. Even in higher grades, Kennedy half-dollars remain relatively affordable, making them an appealing option for both beginner and experienced collectors. Start by collecting one coin from each year, or focus on a specific mint like Philadelphia or Denver. Look for proof sets or special commemorative editions that might add value to your collection. Final shots of the 1988 P half-dollar next to other Kennedy half-dollars. So, is the 1988 P half-dollar worth adding to your collection? While it may not be the rarest or most valuable coin, it certainly has its place in the long history of the Kennedy half-dollar series. If you're a fan of presidential coins or just love the design, the 1988 P is a great, affordable piece to start or add to your collection. Whether you're collecting for fun, investment, or historical significance, the 1988 P half-dollar offers a unique glimpse into the legacy of John F. Kennedy. In today's video, we'll be diving into the 1989 P Kennedy half-dollar. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, this coin holds an important place in American numismatic history. We'll uncover its background, design, production details, and most importantly, its current value in the market. Make sure to stick around till the end for some expert tips on what to look for when collecting this coin. Let's get started. Historic images of President John F. Kennedy, the coin's introduction in 1964, and archival footage of the U.S. Mint.to understand the 1989 P half-dollar, we first need to revisit its origins. The Kennedy half-dollar was first minted in 1964 to honor the memory of the 35th President, John F. Kennedy, following his tragic assassination in 1963. The design, featuring Kennedy's portrait on the obverse and the presidential seal on the reverse, became an iconic symbol of American resilience and unity. Fast forward to 1989, and the Kennedy half-dollar had firmly established its place in the U.S. coinage system. The P mint mark signifies that this particular coin was minted in Philadelphia, one of the major production facilities of the U.S. Mint. By this time, the coin was no longer widely used in everyday transactions, but it remained popular with collectors. The design and features of the 1989 P half-dollar focusing on details like the mint mark, Kennedy's portrait, and the eagle design. Let's take a closer look at the design of the 1989 P half-dollar. On the obverse side, we have a profile of President John F. Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts. You'll notice the fine details in Kennedy's hair and facial features, as well as the inscriptions, "Liberty, in God We Trust," and the year, 1989. Now, flipping over to the reverse side, the design was created by Frank Gasparo. The eagle clutching arrows and an olive branch is surrounded by the inscriptions, "United States of America," and "half-dollar." This design has remained consistent throughout the years, contributing to the coin's recognizable and iconic status. For the 1989 P half dollar, the overall composition consists of copper and nickel, with a total weight of 11.34 grams and a diameter of 30.6 millimeters. Graphical representation of production figures and U.S. Mint facilities. In 1989, the Philadelphia Mint produced approximately 23.4 million Kennedy half dollars, making it a relatively common issue in terms of mintage. However, despite its large production run, the demand for Kennedy half dollars had been steadily declining, meaning that most of these coins ended up in storage or were used in specific transactions like casinos or vending machines. It's also worth noting that while the coin was struck in large numbers, the Philadelphia Mint is known for its quality strikes, so collectors can often find examples of the 1989 P half dollar in excellent condition, especially in uncirculated grades. Current value and collectability of the 1989 P half dollar coin grading scale, with examples of different grades like MS65, 58 Australian dollars, and lower grades. Now for the part that every collector wants to know, the value of the 1989 P half dollar. As a modern coin, it's not particularly rare, so circulated examples typically hold a value close to face value, around 50 cents to $1. However, the value increases significantly in higher grades. For example, in uncirculated condition, an MS65 grade 1989 P half dollar can fetch around $5 to $10, depending on the market. Higher grades like MS67 or MS68 are much rarer and can bring in even higher prices, sometimes reaching up to $100 or more at auction. Keep in mind that these values fluctuate based on the current demand in the numismatic market, so it's always good to stay updated on trends. Examples of error coins, close-ups of minting mistakes, or off-center strikes. One of the exciting aspects of coin collecting is the hunt for error coins, and the 1989 P half dollar is no exception. Some collectors have reported finding off-center strikes, die cracks, or other minting errors, which can significantly increase the coin's value. Depending on the type and severity of the error, these coins can be worth anywhere from a few dollars to several $100s. If you come across a 1989 P half dollar with any unusual characteristics, it's a good idea to have it professionally graded to determine its value. How to collect and preserve the 1989 P half dollar. Demonstration of coin handling, proper storage techniques, and coin holders.so. How should you go about collecting and preserving a 1989 P half dollar? First, always handle your coins by the edges to avoid getting fingerprints or oils on the surface, which can affect the coin's condition over time. It's also important to store your coins in a cool, dry environment, ideally in coin holders or protective cases designed specifically for numismatics. If you have a high-grade or error coin, you may want to consider getting it professionally graded by a service like PCGS or NGC. This not only helps preserve the coin but also provides authentication and can enhance its market value. Why the 1989 P half dollar is worth collecting. Footage of a complete collection of Kennedy half dollars, highlighting the different years. The 1989 P half dollar may not be the rarest or most valuable coin in your collection, but it certainly holds historical significance. As part of the ongoing legacy of the Kennedy half dollar series, it represents a period in U.S. history where the coin was transitioning from circulation to primarily collector interest. Whether you're trying to complete a set of Kennedy half dollars or simply appreciate the design, this coin has its own unique charm. The 1989 P Kennedy half dollar. Whether you're interested in its history, value, or simply